What's up guys, Matt here and welcome to this video on my FragranceMatt channel. I hope you're all doing very well. And if you're brand new to this channel, welcome. It's great to have you here with me. Now in this video we are going to be talking about 1 Million by Paco Rabanne. Unfortunately I don't have a bottle of this, I only have a sample, which is a 1.5 ml sample, which I've had in my collection for probably about 2 months now. I got it when I was shopping and I thought, well, I might as well get a sample while I'm out, do a review on it. Because a lot of you guys have been telling me to review this fragrance. It's been requested for so long and I just haven't done it, so apologies for that. When did this fragrance come out? Well, it came out in 2008. The perfumers behind this fragrance, we have 3 perfumers, 3 very popular perfumers that is. And the perfumers are Christophe Renaud, Olivier Pachot and Michel Girard. The package, as you guys can see, it has a picture of the bottle right there, which I'm really sorry about. The quality's terrible. It's meant to resemble a block of gold or a bar of gold. And on the inside here, it tells you a little bit about the smell. It says, this flamboyant eau de toilette announces the return of truly masculine seduction. Its fresh and sparkling top note of blood mandarin and peppermint is coupled with a rugged base note of amber and leather. Of course, there are other notes in the fragrance, but we will talk about them at some point in this video. So this is a very popular fragrance from Paco Rabanne. This is a very popular fragrance from the company of Paco Rabanne, and it's also a very plagiarized fragrance. And what I mean by that is the fact that it's just copied so much by rip-off brands, and yeah, it's really quite incredible. But what a lot of people don't seem to realize is that this is actually a copy of another fragrance that came out in 1998, and that fragrance is Rapport Sport. And a lot of people don't really know about that fragrance, but it's a really cheap fragrance that you can buy here in the UK. I don't know if you can get it anywhere else in the world, but it's like a drugstore fragrance. It's really cheap, but I've done a review on it already, and it smells a lot like this fragrance, or I should say that this fragrance smells a lot like that, but I'm just going to come out and say it, guys, right? I'm not a big fan of this fragrance. Never have been. And the reason for that is it reminds me of being 16, way back in 2008 when this fragrance first came out, right? And I used to go out with my friends drinking in different bars, nightclubs, and whatnot. And this fragrance just reminds me of those times. And the smell just really takes me back. It's just, yeah, I'm not a fan. But I don't want to be completely biased, guys. I want to give you guys my honest thoughts. Pros and cons. There are indeed pros and cons. This isn't an overly terrible fragrance. It's just not one of those fragrances that I would personally wear. So here we go, guys. The top notes for this fragrance, we get blood orange, grapefruit, and peppermint. So what I get straight away, well, I'm actually going to spray it again. Why the hell not? There you go. So the opening of this fragrance is very strong, very potent. So whenever you do wear this fragrance, do go easy on the sprayer. However, this is a smaller sprayer, but I would imagine in the bottle it would give you a bigger spray. So yeah, do definitely go easy. But the opening for this fragrance, you get a very dominant blood orange and grapefruit combination with a very cool peppermint underneath. The peppermint isn't totally refreshing. It doesn't remind you of, you know, like the coolness of a mint, say like in Ralph Lauren's Polo Sport, or Cool Water by Davidoff, or Himalaya by Creed. You know, any of those fragrances that give you that mint quality, this doesn't have that. The only thing that I don't like about this opening is just that very synthetic bubblegum type of smell that the orange and the grapefruit combination has. Just not a big fan of it. You know when certain blends just don't smell right to you? Yeah, this one to me is just, it just doesn't work well on my nose. It's one of those fragrances that I want to like, but I just can't, no matter what, every time I wear it. Who knows, my opinion might change in the future. So, on top of that orange, you know, and of course the mint underneath, I am getting various spices, and I don't really want to say what the spices are just yet, but the spices are pretty dominant with that orange. Not completely dominant to the point where it's more spice over that bubblegum orange smell. because it's certainly not like that. When you first spray this, you get that very potent orange, but then the spices start to form after about 2 minutes. In the middle notes, guys, we get the notes of cinnamon, rose, and spices. So spices is a bit vague. I don't really know what I would certainly say that I get. However, I do get cinnamon, no doubt. The cinnamon is very, very strong in this, but very synthetic. Doesn't remind me of something that smells genuine. It just smells like a synthetic, orangey bubblegum mix. That's all I'm really getting on my skin so far. Rose, no, I don't really get rose for that matter, which is quite, again, rose can be quite a dominant note, and I don't get it. So that is quite amazing. But in the dry down, guys, we get the notes of leather, white wood, patchouli, and amber. So I don't know what white wood is. Maybe you guys can tell me in those comments. But what I do get in the dry down of this fragrance is I do get a very nice amber and leather combo. The amber is very sensual, very oriental, which definitely does add to the oriental character that this fragrance is supposed to oppose. It definitely smells great in the dry down. I definitely prefer the dry down, I think, over the opening. The dry down to me does smell a lot more sensual. It definitely has a bit more class to it. I just think that the opening is just a bit too sweet, a little bit too cloying for my liking. Like even just there, it's a little bit too cloying. But saying that, I am getting a leather coming through. There is a bit of a patchouli in there as well, creating a bit of a creating a bit of an exoticness to it. But white wood, I mean, I have no idea what white wood is. I would say that this definitely has a bit of a sandalwood, personally, in the dry down. It's definitely like a dry, sensual wood smell. Very sweet, not very sweet, but very sensual amber. Which definitely does close off away from that sweet orange. It definitely does work better in the dry down, personally, guys. I like the dry down in this over the opening. It's just, to me, better. I just prefer it. So, yeah. So now that we've talked about the smell, guys, this is definitely one of those fragrances that I don't think I'll ever own a big bottle of. It's just not my cup of tea, not my type of fragrance. This is definitely well suited for the type of guy who likes to go out and have a drink now and again. I think it's a great socializing fragrance. It's got that potency behind it, and it definitely has that sort of atmosphere, that sort of casual atmosphere, fun type of quality. So I think it definitely does well in close encounters. Not all girls will personally like this fragrance. I know a few girls that don't like it, and I also know a few girls that do. So it's love-hate, no doubt about it. But just looking at Fragrantica here, most people get the cinnamon out of any other note in this fragrance. The second most popular note is the leather. And I definitely have to agree. Like, just smelling it on me, I am getting that cinnamon very, very strongly right now. And that leather underneath. Just, it's actually not that bad, if I'm honest with you. I think it's when it's oversprayed. Maybe it's just one of those fragrances that does smell very cloying the more it's oversprayed. But it doesn't smell too bad so far. I didn't really like the opening, per se, but it doesn't really smell too bad now, if I'm honest. So, yeah, I'm going to also rate this fragrance, guys. So, on the smell, I'm going to rate this fragrance 4 out of 10. The reason I'm rating it so low is because it's just not my type of smell. I can see good things about it. Like right now, the leather is coming through quite nicely, but it just doesn't have that much uniqueness to wow me over. So I'm going to give the smell a 4 out of 10. Longevity, I'm going to give it a 10 out of 10 because this fragrance is potent. This stuff lasts all day, 15 hours plus. I remember wearing this when I was out. Where was it? I was out in Newcastle with my parents. And I sprayed it in store, and I could still smell it on my skin the same night. This is going to go for ages on my skin. I have no doubt about it. So, yeah, so excited. The sillage is also amazing. It's It lasts from your skin for like the first 2 hours, 2 or 3 hours. Then after that, it starts to really dry down nicely after the second hour. So you are going to get a really strong, potent juice, especially if you are wanting to go out in a nightclub or a close encounter or a place where you want to be known. So yeah, that's what I would say. So in terms of the sillage and longevity, I'm going to give it 10 out of 10. So yeah, guys, that gives me an overall rating of 14% out of 20 for Paco Rabanne 1 million. Just not one of my personal favorites, guys. However, you guys might like it. And if you did enjoy my review for it, please do let me know in those comments and I will get back to you. You guys are absolutely amazing. And I just want to say something before I end this video. Now, this is where things are going to take a little bit of a turn. I didn't really want to mention it at the end of this video. I was going to make a separate video overall, but yeah, I just want you guys to know that I really, really appreciate every single one of you. As you guys know, or may or not know, I've been going through a lot of mental health problems. I thought that at one point it was actually getting better, but it's getting worse again, and I'm trying to make it better, although it's actually getting the better of me most days. Which is why I wanted to do this review, because I wanted to change it up and I wanted to get out there a little bit more. You know, I don't want to suffer anymore, and I want you guys to know that I'm not even that dead. So yeah, I hope you're all doing very well though, and thank you so much for being amazing to me. Honestly, it gets me choked up every time I talk about it. So I'm going to end this video now. Thanks so much, guys. You're incredible. Keep smelling good, and bye-bye for now.